I'm a man who appreciates goo. Take that how you want. If you're looking for an alt birthday centerpiece that's a little different from the traditional sponge cake, I got you. This cookie cake is unbelievably simple to make, and you can make it at home with no special tools. And if you stick around, I'll show you how to bump up the Danko-meter on traditional regular old cookie dough. Make the cookie cake by adding brown sugars, regular sugars, and vanilla paste or extract to a large heat-proof mixing bowl. Then in a medium saucepot over medium heat, melt in the unsalted butter. Browning the butter here is a simple little trick for elevated chocolate chip cookies. Butter is made of water, milk fat, and milk solids. We need to gently cook the butter until much of that water has evaporated, leaving us with only the milk fat and solids. The milk solids, which include proteins, are what we're toasting. Remember, brown food is tasty food, and butter is no exception. Once the foam on top begins to subside and you begin to see small specks of brown bits floating around, you're good. Your nose is your best friend here. Once things start to smell like toasty, roasty nuts, remove that butter immediately to avoid burning. If you burn the butter, unfortunately, you're gonna have to start over. There's no saving burnt butter. Once browned, transfer the hot butter to the sugar mixture and whisk vigorously to begin blending in the sugar to cool it down a bit so that you can add your whole eggs. Continue whisking until the sugars looks like it's been fully dissolved into the mixture. It should be as smooth as that jet guy from that one episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Hey.
Hi.
Alright, maybe that was a little too deep of a cut, but hopefully you get it. Anyways, sift in the dry ingredients, which are bread flour, baking soda, and kosher salt. The bread flour is going to give our final cookie a satisfying chew and unique thickness that you just don't really get from regular all-purpose flour, but if you don't have any bread flour, feel free to sub it out for good ol' AP. Now, this dough, quotes around dough, will be a little loose, and that's totally okay. The consistency is somewhere between a dough and a batter. You might actually call it a bow. Got it. Alright, let's talk chocolate real quick. I happen to live in a chocolate chunk household, so I'm chopping up these semi-sweet choco bars to have better control of the final size. But if you're a chip person, go ahead and use those instead. Plop your chocolate right in that bow, and fold it in with a rubber spatula. If for some reason you have a cookie cake sheet or some sort of pizza pan with curved edges, feel free to use that. But in my testing, I found that a 12-inch cast iron skillet is the perfect vessel for this cookie cake. Go ahead and butter that up right there using your Buttercream. Here's a little trick. If you take a little bit of oil, rub it on your hand, it kind of keeps your hand from sticking to the batter. A lot easier than using a spatula, in my opinion. Now, to finish it off, we'll sprinkle on a little bit of textured sea salt. This is just some fleur-de-sel, but if you have any flaky salt, as the kids are calling it these days, go ahead and use it. Works great too. Sprinkle that salt all around the top there, then pop the whole thing in the middle rack of a preheated 350 Fahrenheit oven and bake for 20 to 25 minutes. Once finito, the cake should be soft but set in the center. Allow the cake to cool fully in the skillet before you try to remove it. Cooling it can take time because this is cast iron, so now is the perfect opportunity to get started on our buttercream. In a large bowl, add tempered unsalted butter, very important that the butter is soft here, vanilla extract or paste, and kosher salt. Use a rubber spatula or a fork to mix the ingredients, then spoonful by spoonful begin adding your powdered sugar. Powdered shugs. Use the spatula to mash the ingredients into one another. Once you add about half the sugar, it'll be a lot easier to incorporate more at a time, but at first take it slow because this stuff likes to sprinkle everywhere. Once all the sugar is added, optionally add in your favorite food coloring of choice. I'm using blue for this batch, but I also made a second batch off camera where I used green. Now you could go online and buy some of these piping bags, but if you don't have one of these, you can use a Ziploc bag. The best way to fill a piping bag is to use a container or a cup to hold the bag in place while you spoon in whatever it is you're piping, right? In our case, it's this Buttercream. Now, using two hands, apply moderate pressure to the bag and pipe that buttercream in any design you'd like, really. I'm going for a classic ring around the rosy to block out some of those ugly, craggly edges of the cookie. The end result should be a massive, chunky, and super moist chocolate chip cookie that, for all intents and purposes, is now a cookie cake. From here, you can decorate this however you'd like. You can pipe on a name or just write a little something. You can poke stuff onto it. You can even go to a bakery and request them to print off a custom picture made out of like sugar ink for you. We're not doing that. But finishing this whole shadiddly does call for celebration. Asthma, don't have it. Used to have it, not anymore. COVID, have it. All right, let's cut into it. Oh, and if you want to know how old I am, go ahead and rewind the video, pause it, and count those candles. You can do that on your own time. Serve this with a tall glass o' milk, or your favorite alt milk of choice. Don't forget the balloons, the party hat, the little themed plates. Make it special. It's a birthday party after all. Oh yeah. Dude, that is so gooey, it's like calling my name. I'm a man who appreciates goo. Take that how you want. I really wish we had some like party horns right now, but they were like $6 at Party City. Inflation is real. Zang. Yeah, not a big birthday cake fan, but cookie cake and ice cream cake. Happy birthday to whoever it is you're making this for. And if you dig the new apron, these are now available for purchase on my website. So you can go over there, cop your own. They are limited though, and so once they sell out, they're not coming back in this exact setup at least. Little Headley and Bennett, this is denim, sturdy stuff. It's a crossback, so it's very comfortable if you want to wear it all day. Yeah. I think it's cool. TY for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.